It's kind of crazy to think about, but can a single embarrassing moment from your childhood actually shape your entire future? Well, for some people, a moment of shame becomes this lifelong fire, this source of motivation. We're about to dive into a story that shows exactly how powerful that can be.
Wow, that is the heartbreaking question a 6-year-old boy asked his mother all the way back in 1969. That little boy was Peter Thumb, the author of the book we're exploring today. And that one question, that was the spark that would ignite a lifetime of change.
So, when you look at this photo, you just see an ordinary young boy, right? But what you can't see is what's happening on the inside. A powerful decision was forming, a decision that would carry him far, far away from the poverty he knew. I mean, just imagine the scene for a second. His mom having to say no to celebrating a happy day with a close neighbor, all because she couldn't afford even a simple present. For young Peter, this wasn't just a sad moment. It was a deep, burning humiliation that he swore his family would never, ever experience again. And this? Well, this is the results of that vow. From that one defining moment, he started on a journey that took him from a boy ashamed of his family's poverty to a successful author, a teacher, and a speaker. So the big question is, how on earth did he do it? Well, the answer lies in a really powerful framework he discovered and perfected over his life. It's a framework he calls the success triangle. So here it is. This is the model that unlocked his potential. And yeah, it looks pretty simple at first glance, but it's built on 3 core pillars that work together in this incredibly powerful way to create success that actually lasts. So what are these pillars? All right, first up, you've got internal communication, or IC. That's basically the way you talk to yourself. Then there's external communication, EC. That's how you deal with other people. And finally, technical knowledge, TK. The specific skills for your job or your industry. Now, check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. Most of us, right, we spend years and years in school mastering technical knowledge. But according to this framework, TK is only 20% of the success equation, a massive 80%. It all comes down to communication, both with yourself and with others. Wild, isn't it? And this quote just cuts right to the heart of it all. When you feel stuck, it's so easy to blame things outside of yourself. But this framework argues that the real battle, the real starting point for any change, is always inside your own head. This idea is so important, it really deserves its own focus. True, lasting success isn't about fixing your circumstances. It's about mastering your inner world first. We all tell ourselves these stories, don't we? Oh, I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough time, my boss is the problem. Well, this slide shows that those are just the symptoms. The root cause, the real issue, is almost always our internal beliefs and the image we hold of ourselves. So here's the bottom line. Your self-image acts like a thermostat, and it sets the upper limit for what you can achieve. If you secretly see yourself as someone who just struggles, you will unconsciously find ways to struggle, no matter what opportunities come your way. To perform better, you have to raise that internal thermostat first. Now, to make this whole idea of limiting beliefs really stick, the book uses this fantastic analogy, and it asks a very simple question. Are you a spider monkey? The author's point is that most of us are trapped, and we're clinging to these old, unhelpful ideas, what he calls peanut beliefs, even when they're costing us our freedom. So here's how the trap works. A hunter puts a peanut inside a cage with a hole just big enough for the monkey's hand to slip in. The monkey reaches in, grabs the peanut, and makes a fist. But now, its fist is too big to pull out. Now, all it has to do to be free is let go of the peanut. But it won't. It gives up its entire life for one tiny, insignificant belief. And this, of course, brings the question right back to us. What are the peanuts in your life? What are the old stories you tell yourself, I'm not smart enough, I could never do that you refuse to let go of, even though they're keeping you trapped? Okay, so if we recognize that we're holding on to these peanut beliefs, how in the world do we let them go? Well, the book argues it's not about forcing change. It's about finding something more powerful to move toward. It's about finding your why. I want you to think of it like peeling an onion. You're not adding anything new to yourself. You're just removing all those layers of doubt and fear and what other people expect from you to finally reveal the powerful core motivation that's already deep inside you. And here's an incredibly powerful tool from the book to do just that. It's called the 7-level deep exercise. You start with a simple goal, like, I want to be successful. Then you just ask yourself, why is that important? Maybe the answer is, so I can provide for my family. Okay, well, why is that important? With each why, you dig deeper, past the logical answers, and you get closer to the real emotional engine that drives you. And a little heads up, don't be surprised if this exercise really hits you. The author says that by the time you get to that 7th level, you often uncover a truth so deep, so profound, it feels like a light bulb just switches on inside your heart. That's your true why. And that is the force that will finally make you drop the peanut. This quote from Mark Twain just captures the entire journey so perfectly. Knowing your purpose, your why, it gives your life direction. It gives it meaning. It gives it an unstoppable source of energy. It changes everything. And so, we'll end with that simple but incredibly powerful question. Have you found your why? Because finding that answer isn't about what you do. It's about why you do it. And that is the first and most important step in mastering your own success triangle.